Exodus 27. You shall make the altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square, and it shall be 3 cubits high. You shall make horns for it in its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. You shall make pots for its ashes, and shovels, and basins, and forks, and fire pans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall also make for it a grating, a network of bronze, and on the net you shall make 4 bronze rings at its corners. You shall set under the ledge of the altar, so that the net shall extend halfway down the altar. You shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. The poles shall be put through the rings, so that the poles shall be on 2 sides of the altar when it is carried. You shall make it hollow with boards. They shall be made just as you were shown on the mountain. You shall make a court of the tabernacle. On the south side of the court shall have hanging of fine twisted linen, 100 cubits long for that side. Its 20 pillars and their 20 bases shall be of bronze, but the hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be of silver. Likewise, for its length on the north side, there shall be hanging 100 cubits long, their pillar 20 and their bases 20, of bronze, but the hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be of silver. For the width of the court on the west side, there shall be 50 cubits of hangings, with 10 pillars and 10 bases. The width of the court of the front to the east shall be 50 cubits. Though there shall be 15 cubits hanging on one side with 3 pillars and 3 bases. There shall be 15 cubits of hanging on the other side with 3 pillars and 3 bases. For the gate of the court there shall be a screen 20 cubits long of purple and blue and crimson yarn and of fine twisted linen embroidered with needlework. It shall have 4 pillars, and with them 4 bases. All the pillars around the court shall be banded with silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their bases of bronze. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, the width 50, and the height 5, with hangings of fine twisted linen and bases of bronze. All the utensils of the tabernacle for every use, and all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court shall be of bronze. You shall further command the Israelites to bring you pure oil of beaten olives for the light, so that a lamp may be set up to burn continually. In the tent of meeting, outside the curtain that is before the covenant, Aaron and his sons shall tend it from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a perpetual ordinance to be observed throughout their generations by the Israelites. Exodus 28. Then bring near to you your brother Aaron and his sons with him from among the Israelites to serve me as priests. Aaron and Aaron's son Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. You shall make sacred vestments for the glorious adornment of your brother Aaron, and you shall speak to all who are skillful, whom I have endowed with skill, so that they make Aaron's vestments to consecrate him for my priesthood. These are the vestments that they shall make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a checkered tunic, a turban, and a sash. When they make these sacred vestments for your brother Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests, they shall use gold, blue, purple, and crimson yarn and fine linen. They shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, purple, and crimson yarn, and of fine twisted linen skillfully worked. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces attached to its 2 edges so that it may be joined together. The decorated band on it shall be of the same workmanship and materials of gold, of blue, purple, and of crimson yarn, and of fine twisted linens. You shall take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel. 6 of the names on the one stone, and the names of the remaining 6 on the other stone, in the order of their birth. As a gem cutter engraves signets, so you shall engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Israel. You shall mount them in settings of gold. You shall set the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as stones of remembrance for the sons of Israel. And Aaron shall bear the names before the Lord on his 2 shoulders of remembrance. You shall make settings of fine gold filigree and 2 chains of pure gold twisted like cords, and you shall attach the corded chains to the settings. You shall make breast pieces of judgment. In skilled work you shall make it in the style of the ephod, of gold, of blue, purple, and crimson yarn, and of fine twisted linen you shall make it. It shall be square and doubled, a span in length and a span in width. You shall set it in 4 rows of stone, a row of carnelian, chrysolite, and emerald shall be the first row. And the second row, a turquoise, a sapphire, and a moonstone. And the third row of jacinth, an agate, and amethyst. And the 4th row of a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold filigree. There shall be 12 stones with names, with its name for the 12 tribes. You shall make for the breastpiece chains of pure gold twisted like cords, and you shall make for the breastpiece 2 rings of gold, and put the 2 rings on the 2 edges of the breastpiece. You shall put 2 quarts of gold in the 2 rings at the edges of the breastpiece, and the 2 ends of the 2 cords you shall attach to 2 settings, and so attach it in front of the shoulder pieces of ephod. You shall make 2 rings of gold and put them at the 2 ends of the breastpiece in its inside edge next to the ephod. You shall make 2 rings of gold and attach them in front of the lower parts of the 2 shoulder pieces of ephod at its joining above decorated bands of ephod. The breastpiece shall be bound by its ring to the rings of the ephod with a blue cord, so that it may lie on the decorated band of the ephod, and so that the breastpiece shall not come loose from the ephod. So Aaron shall bear the names of the sons of Israel in the breastpiece of judgment on his heart when he goes into the holy place for a continual remembrance before the Lord. In the breastpieces of judgment you shall put the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be on Aaron's heart when he goes in before the Lord. Thus Aaron shall bear the judgment of the Israelites on his heart before the Lord continually. You shall make a robe of the ephod all of blue. It shall have an opening for the head in the middle of it, with a woven binding around its edges, like the opening of a garment, so that it may not be torn. On its lower hem you shall make pomegranates of blue, purple, and crimson yarn. All around the lower hem with bells of gold between them all, a golden bell and a pomegranate altering all around the lower hem of the robe. Aaron shall wear it when he ministers, and its sound shall be heard when he goes into the holy place before the Lord, and when he comes out, so that he may not die. You shall not make a rosette of pure gold and engrave on it, like the engraving of a signet, holy to the Lord. You shall fasten it on a turban with a blue cord. it shall be on the front of the turban. It shall be on Aaron's forehead, and Aaron shall take on himself any guilt incurred in the holy offerings that the Israelites consecrate as their sacred donations. It shall always be on his forehead, in order that he may find favor before the Lord. You shall make the checkered tunic of fine linen, and you shall make a turban of fine linen, and you shall make a sash embroidered with needlework. For Aaron's son you shall make tunics and sashes and headdresses. You shall make them for their glorious adornment. You shall put them on your brother Aaron and on his sons with him, and shall anoint them and ordain them and consecrate them, so that they may serve me as priests. You shall make for them linen undergarments to cover their naked flesh. They shall reach from the hips to the thighs. They shall be worn by Aaron and his sons when they go into the tent of the meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister in the holy place, so that they do not bring guilt on themselves and die. This shall be a perpetual ordinance for him and for his descendants after him.